Oh, there we go. Listen, guys, I said I would be on time today, and that's exactly what I'm going to be. Okay, lateness is not greatness. The lighting is a bit funky, but we're waiting for a couple more boys to join us. Obviously, Toby and Lee. Corey is never late. Now, of course, before we start the show, questions like, I can see the emergency with Chilwell. We're going to talk about that. And also, we're going to talk about why I didn't do the review just briefly. I'm not going to lie, my head was out my arse, as Lee would say, okay? I'm in the drinking capital of the world, which is Ireland. And unfortunately, shit goes left. And I watched the game in a very dodgy manner. I don't think I was really, all there and all stable. So I can't really tell you in great detail what happened in the game in a review. So I decided I wasn't going to lie to you and try and do it. And I certainly didn't have the time to watch it back. So we're going to get into the show. My man Corey's here. Toby and Lee are always doing lateness is greatness, but it is what it is. Let's get into this, people. It's going to be a madness. We'll start with the L's. Corey, how you doing?
I'm actually depressed, mate. Like, I gotta be honest, it is actually so depressing at the minute. I don't even really know where to start. Obviously, the game you would have seen on telly, it was quite sparse. Like, I'm talking a half-empty stadium, so you're off on a back foot anyway. And then these results, mate, I don't really know what I'm watching. I'm going into Watford today thinking I'd love a draw. Like, I don't even really know what I'm gonna see, and it's a shame, really, because I mean, I used to think people that talked about injuries quite a bit, it was kind of a bit over the top. But when you're losing 3 players like we are, and the players that you...
Is that it?
Well, no. Here. Zuma, Ogbonna, and Creswell. And when you take those out and you see some of the players that you're putting in, and look, even if we played poorly against Southampton and won, I would have been all right. But just the mistakes, I don't know what I'm going to see from West Ham. So... yeah, it's tough, mate. I've got to take my L. I know people have been getting on to me, so I will. But yeah, no, it's that's all I can really gloss over, mate, to be fair. Declan's not even playing today, so Noble back in, I guess. The man behind me, fingers crossed he can turn up, because someone's got to.
Well, here to give you your L. What? No top on?
Bobby,
is it too hot?
It's too hot. Bobby Lashley, I'm here for pain. I'm here for Corey's pain.
I feel like you last season. That's
Muscle Man has entered the building, and he's obviously in Ghana at the moment. So big up Toby for joining us. It's not an easy one for him. It's probably so hot over there as well. It's probably
the AC's baked on here, to be fair. The AC's on now, but like there's no point me wearing clothes. Like no point.
And if people are asking where Lee is, he's currently taking a dump. He will be here soon. I mean, look, we did speak about this briefly before. Obviously, West Ham in depth, and that would be the main thing that probably hampers your race for the top 4 potentially is yourselves, is how much depth do you have? Will you get to January and spend the money and bring in a couple players to strengthen? We always spoke about that. Is that what it's purely down to? Is it purely down to injuries for you right now?
Well, no, the performances have dipped. They've definitely dipped over the... I even thought when we beat Chelsea, our performance level wasn't that great. It was just a game of moments. The problem is if you... And people will say, oh, you're still 6th. The problem is like when you're making certain errors in certain games, again, the margins are so fine. So we could be getting away with it. We could have beaten Southampton if Diop doesn't go flying in, if Dawson goes falling over Brozier, and Masuaku has an absolute stinker for 3 games on the bounce. But it's just the fact that they've come in, and I didn't know how poor they would be. And Masuaku's like having 10 men. I'm deadly serious. Like, he's like playing with 10 men. The thing is, like, you look at it against Arsenal, he's playing 1v1 versus Saka. If there's an overload on that side or someone's really targeting that side, I could sympathise. We're talking he can't even deal with 1v1. And I watched the game back, and every goal against Southampton, he's responsible. He starts the error. He's literally responsible for every single...
Is he a wing back or what? Because... I speak about this with Marcus Alonso.
He's not even a wing back. He's literally a left midfielder. Like he's a left midfielder.
He should be a winger where he can cause minimal damage. But I've seen him right in front of me on the other day, and he's clipping cross. You know the cross he scored against Chelsea? He does exactly the same technique, mate. It doesn't work. Like, I'm asking you, please just put it in the right area, and he can't cross properly. And so I don't know what to do with him. And this is the thing. This is where Moyes is hitting.
You loved him when he scored, though, weren't you?
I still didn't like him. Everyone was still singing his name. I'm not singing his name. I've dug him out for way too long. But this is the problem. Moyes can take you to that level. He can take these players to that level. But there are certain players in this West Ham team that you cannot take further. And it's Yarmolenko and it's Masuaku. They've got to go. It's as simple as that. They've got to get him out.
Yarmolenko, that's surprising to hear because I thought he had some technique on him.
Well, I mean, they can't even beat one player 1v1, so there's no point. I mean, he's had a chance against Southampton. He's massively left-footed, as you know. And all I'm asking for him is to just drill it in the box. Just drill it, mate. And he'll cut back onto his left and he'll lose the ball. It's not...
He plays with no intensity. He plays with no intensity with Masuaku. I mean, with Yarmolenko, he plays with no intensity, and he's been in the league for what, like 3.5 years, coming up to 4 years now, and he still hasn't really got to grips with the pace of the Premier League. Everything is so slow with Yarmolenko, and he can only thrive when it's the perfect condition. Like if he gets the ball in a position where he can wrap it with his left foot. Like if you ask him to do anything else on either side of the pitch, beat a man, commit a man, do this, do that, he's not really that effective. And it's strange because he's always been someone who's had like a decent reputation of like getting scoring some really good goals and making something happen with his left foot, but he's just not effective. And it's another bust of a signing for West Ham. Let's be honest. Like how many busts have you lot had now?
Well, you're exactly spot on, and people will make excuses for him saying, and I'm saying this is the condition that you've got to get Yarmolenko in. He's got to have acres of space with loads of time on his left foot to make any impact. And if you're bringing on a player like that in the last 10 minutes to get a result, he's the wrong player. Cut your losses. He's on 120k a week. It doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense. There's literal West Ham fans booing him when he's coming on and he's coming off. But that's literally the level that he's at. I can't defend him. I'll try and be as patient as I can with a player, but genuinely, I would play an under 23 over him. I just play an under 23 over him. I don't understand. He's not meant for the league. It's the same with Haller. Haller's a better player, granted, but this is what I'm saying. Fans sometimes go, you've got to, if it's the right condition, it's the right formation, it's the right. Well, it's not. So it doesn't matter then, does it? Do you know what I mean? Some players are better somewhere else.
Why are we moving so far away from actual good footballers and we're going so far towards system players? Oh, he's not playing in the right zone. He needs to be 10 yards up the pitch. Like, how many hands do we have to hold in these teams? Like, just find good footballers who can play in multiple systems. I feel like the game used to be like that maybe 10 years ago. Now it feels very system-based all of a sudden. In the last few years, it seems to be more and more predicated on systems, and this player can play in this exact zone, this player can play exact place. But I don't know. I mean, Lee, it looks like you're on holiday as well. This is probably the coolest stream we've ever done, just in terms of locations.
You know what I mean? Toby's sitting there topless. It makes a change from having a dressing gown on. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Big up to all of you lot. Big up to everyone in the chat as well. And yeah, you're right about system players. Mate, the thing is, there's not many good footballers around these days, is there? Let's be real. Yeah, there's not. Like, I see somebody posted a couple of weeks back about the Ballon d'Or list, and then they compared it to one from 15 years ago and one from 20 years ago. It's just embarrassing, mate. The standard has just dipped rapidly over the last 20 years. Like when I was growing up, everyone was a baller. Like you know, the players. And when people say, "Oh, he's a good defender, he can walk out defense with a ball," bro, they were doing that 20 years ago in Italy. Do you know what I mean? It's like now it's a miracle if somebody can walk out of defense with a ball. Like, how about defend?
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean? How about cross a ball properly? The amount of players that can't cross a ball in the Premier League is embarrassing. Like, genuinely, I watched that Man United game last night. Everyone raves about this Bruno Fernandes. Mate, that geezer is whack. Yeah, he is whack. I don't care what anyone tells me. He can score as many goals as he wants, mate. He is useless. He is not a good footballer.
Someone's just called you sexual vanilla.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on.
There's a lot of nicknames today. By the way,
here today, man. It's 24 degrees today. It's beautiful. We don't do well. We had 3 days of rain, and now it's back to normality, and it's cleared the air.
It's mad.
Now it's shorts and t-shirt weather again.
I'm going to ask Toby in a minute what the best gel off is, Nigerian or Ghanaian, because now that he's a Nigerian in Ghana, we have to ask him that just to see if he wants to be brave. But did you get to catch the West Ham game, Lee? I'm watching some of the goals now just to refresh, because as I said, I didn't do my review for the Aston Villa game this weekend.
Well, they were playing the same time as us, so I had to catch the highlights of it. But the bubbles burst, didn't it, Corey?
Hey, come on.
You know, 7 points
it worries
behind
Couple
me.
weeks ago, Corey was like, getting
No,
in my face and
this is
whatnot,
what I
and
mean. This is
giving
what I
me
mean.
stick.
It should just be little old West Ham, just the way I
No,
like
no,
it. You know,
no,
just
fuck
sort of
all that.
creeping up,
Oh,
and then
no, there was
let
none
us
of that a
fall.
couple of weeks
Let us
ago,
fall.
Corey.
No,
let us
because you had with Billy Big Bollocks a couple of weeks back.
gracefully.
Oh, we're top 4
gracefully.
contenders.
Look,
Now
I
he's
mean,
saying, consider
no,
us
look.
as little West Ham.
Yeah, consider
No,
us little West Ham now. We've bottled it.
Little West Ham.
we ain't bottled
Yeah.
anything. We still got half a season to go. Last time I
100%.
checked, the last Arsenal and Spurs aren't even in the European competition. We've still got around
Well,
16 to go.
but the
We'll
point
see
is-
what
the point
happens.
is, the point is, we're both above you with maybe Arsenal have got more games. Arsenal are considerably ahead of you points-wise, and they play the same amount of games. And even Spurs, like we are above you, and we've played like 3 games less. So it shows you how much you have dipped in the last few weeks, because you've gone from take us seriously as top 4 contenders to now we're little
West
old
Ham
West
are
Ham.
massive everywhere they go. Yeah.
Yeah.
West Ham.
Can't take the banter. Can't take the banter.
Except when they go to Stratford, it seems.
I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna defend our form because it is awful. We have fallen off a cliff. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and pretend all of a sudden we're gonna turn a corner. But again, I'm hoping today I see 3 points. If I can't see 3 points today,
See, look, it's gone from we're massive everywhere we go and we're playing good football.
no, but-
and it's just, I'm hoping.
No, but seriously though, like this is the problem. I'm watching. You take West Ham 2 months ago, and you took that team, and you watched us against Southampton. That's not the same team. I don't even know what I'm predicting anymore because I'm not looking at the same players or the same team.
It is actually like you've got 3 of your usual back four, or is it 4 out of your usual back 4 missing? Actually,
It's three.
3.
Yeah.
But
It makes a difference.
But it does make
huge
a difference.
difference.
And this was the point that was made. This is why I didn't really want to take them seriously as a threat in this top 4 race. I said it before the season started. I said West Ham, they're a well-drilled side, but they have a small squad. They have Europe to play with. Of course, granted, some of the injuries are like unlucky. Like it's unlucky to lose Kurt Zuma for a number of months. It's unlucky to lose Ogbonna for the whole season. But unfortunately, injuries are part of the game. They are part of the game. And West Ham, the fact of the matter is they don't have a squad good enough to compete across multiple fronts. And when you're starting to see players drop out of the team due to injury, they're suffering. They're absolutely suffering because they don't have the ready-made replacements to come in and do a reasonable job. They don't. Creswell's been out for ages, and look at how Corey's stressing over Masuaku. Look at how
It made me feel ill.
Talk about
It makes me feel ill. I swear, like you could put anyone in there at left back and they would do better. There's calls for the under 23 lad to come in.
Antonio was on fire at the start of the season. Bear in mind, Antonio's not even a striker. He was on fire at the start of the season, but it was masking the fact that they didn't even sign a front man. So now they're literally begging and
poor as well. You needed a striker.
The only
they're not cast far at sea, and they're not right now. They're still around there. But
the only positive is the fact that Bowen's still performing. Ben Rama got a goal. Mickey got a goal. That's the only thing. But I can't lie, the performance levels have dipped. And against Southampton, now we're becoming this team where we've got to play on the front foot. But you can't play on the front foot with a high line with Diop and Dawson. It doesn't work. And the only time I've seen West Ham look okay is when we went to a back 3 against Chelsea and when we went to a back 3 against Spurs. And that's what I'm saying. Like Moyes wants to be on the front foot. He wants to go and blow away these teams with possession. For 15 minutes in that second half, which is all I got lucky to see, we looked back to the old West Ham. But you're going to have to take a punt. You either say we go to a back 3 and we just shore it up for a couple of games, or you say in January, go and get a Sven Botman, go and get one of these centre-backs that you're so desperate to go and get.
Rob Holding's available.
I wouldn't even joke, Lee. I mean, it'd probably be a David Moyes type of thing to do. Get Robin for 6 months.
Eddie Nketiah is available as well, mate.
I've seen some people in our fan base want Eddie Nketiah, and I can't really understand why.
We're going to get onto that in a minute, actually, but I just want to read out these super chats. Josh Smith says, I hope Toby ain't stripping off for Conte.
Bro, these guys, that's hilarious. Why are people losing their shit over me being a man is topless? Wow.
They're jealous of your physique, Toby.
What the hell?
Like yours, mate.
I think you know what it is. I think it's because some of these virgins haven't even seen the light of day. They're so rolled up in their basement, wanking to all sorts of porn and watching streams. So they can't grasp the concept of a normal man walking around without a shirt on or a vest. I don't understand it.
He also says West Ham getting battered everywhere they go. Thanks, bro.
Is this, who is this fan? Is it a Spurs fan or is it a Chelsea fan?
I have no idea. Josh, let us know what club you support. I had a question for Tobs when he muted himself. Nigerian or Ghanaian jollof? Which one?
I'm gonna say Nigerian because my mum cooks a banging jollof, but Ghanaian jollof is sensational as well.
You got to be good because you're in the homeland.
That comment's hilarious. Toby's stripping for UEFA. You ain't getting back in.
Oh God, honestly. The thing is, we talk about these targets, Rob Holding, Nketiah. I mean, Nketiah, I think that's probably one of the first times I've actually agreed with. I think it was Merson on Sky talking about, I don't know why Nketiah wants to leave himself, because I can't see him going to a club that is of a level where he's probably going to get a lot of chances created for him and he's going to be flourishing. He's probably going to go to maybe a relegation.
He wants to play.
Yeah, he wants to play, but I didn't. How old is he? 22.
Something like that.
But Arsenal seem to be going in a young direction. Lacazette, Aubameyang leaving, there might be space for him to be at least a rotational option, maybe behind Martinelli.
Nketiah's not good enough to lead the line for Arsenal. Come on.
No, he's not. No.
Stop it.
I'm just. Well, do you think he knows that then?
He would be a good player for somebody like Brighton, who create loads of chances but have Malpai and Welbeck. It'd be good.
This is what I said about a certain Tammy Abraham last year. Matisse was giving me that.
Do you think Tammy Abraham's on the same level as Nketiah?
No, I think Tammy Abraham is better than Nketiah, but I think predominantly both of them are known for the fact that they are in the box strikers. They're not really that effective outside the box. If anything, I would say Nketiah can actually play wide. He can actually play wide. He can play wide. Tammy Abraham, but Tammy, listen, Nketiah, the whole is him to West Ham. It just boils down to system. Like we literally discussed this last year, Corey. In the January transfer window when he was linked with a move away. Nketiah, he could only work for a team like West Ham if they played to his strengths and actually, same for Tammy Abraham when we were saying could he go to West Ham, if they actually put chances in the box, if they play without like a target man type system, if the system is more fluid, then someone like Nketiah would be a decent signing for West Ham because ultimately he'll be someone in the box that can put away chances. And I've seen in some matches West Ham created, they're looking a little bit blunt in front of goal. But
he's perfect for a game like Burnley, where Antonio doesn't have natural number 9 movement, which is, you could talk about what you want about Nketiah's overall play, but he is a striker by trade. So he naturally makes the runs that we need. But at the same time, it's okay bringing Nketiah in. And to be honest, I'm at kind of that point of desperation where it's like, I'll bring someone in that maybe Moyes will just mould and he's got a plan for. At the same time, we have to figure out a different way of playing at times that's not directly into Antonio, because we played Bowen up front, false 9, and sometimes we played exactly the same way into him. And granted, Bowen's hold-up play is actually improved, but it doesn't always work. If you get Nketiah and you're asking him to play in behind the channels and stretch the play and hold it up, and it's not going to work. And then and that's where the frustration lies. It's not that I wouldn't have him and I wouldn't give him a chance, but I think West Ham are at a point now where, and we should have been at a point in the summer where we brought in a real number 9. And I would have taken Tammy. I had reservations about him. I think Tammy's improved at Roma, to be honest. And we missed the boat a little. We missed the boat a little bit on him. And I think maybe Moyes thought he's young, he'll improve. We know he's a finisher. We need that.
How much was he sold for? I can't even remember. Did he go to Roma?
Tammy.
Yeah.
35, wasn't it?
Like 35 to 40 million euros or something like that.
For a young English forward, I think West Ham should have taken the punt on it, to be honest. I mean, or would you guys? I think he would have been good at West Ham.
Oh, I agree.
Because again, it gives you a different way of playing a little bit.
He's definitely worth a punt. I mean, like he scored. He misses a lot of chances, but he scored 15 league goals in his first season, and I can't remember how many goals he scored for Chelsea last year. Like, if there's one thing Tammy Abraham has been able to do for the majority of his career, with the exception of that Swansea stint, he scores goals. You may not like him; his general play isn't good, but he scores goals. Like he sniffs out chances. So I think West Ham could do with a natural striker, because I don't think they've had like a natural striker in years, man. I think the last sort of natural striker they had was Chicharito, and they didn't even play to his strengths.
No,
so,
I saw a clip of him the other day, and I was thinking, God, that would be perfect for us right now. Like, I know not in every game, and that's the thing. But normally most clubs have 3 to 4 strikers, all of which play different systems and different ways. We don't have that. So I've always been there saying we just need a direct replacement for Antonio. But if I had a choice, and Moyes, I'd love him to do this and the club to back him. You'd have 3 strikers all different. You could play up with a 2 up front. I think, and that's the thing with Moyes. He will change the system. He will tweak it. But I don't know, mate. It's getting to a point now where I'm looking at left back. Is that our priority position? Is centre back? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of. I thought these players would come in and they would maintain a certain level. There'd be a dip, but they'd maintain a certain. But some of these players just aren't good enough, and that's the problem.
It sounds very similar to us, just on obviously a bigger scale in terms of like losing Chilwell, who's now out for the season. Hence this super chat here from EL92. Who's your pick, Chile, for cover? Obviously, for me, my first 2 choices are Goossens and Guerrero. They're both running out of contract in 2023. They're both top left backs for their country in Germany, Atalanta and Dortmund. Now, not easy deals to get done.
Goossens would be a sweet pickup on a free transfer. Wow. Spurs should look into that. Actually,
it's next year, not this summer coming. But that's why, because his contract's running out, I feel like he could go on a cheaper fee.
What about the Digne chat? I think Digne would be a 6 signing for Chelsea.
Digne's an interesting one. It's not one of my first picks.
Why?
I think defensively he can be a bit suspect.
Yeah, but he'd be playing wing back though.
He would. But I'm looking for someone who's a little bit, all rounder. I don't really like.
Lazanak's available on a free.
No, Kolasinac. No,
listen, he was in the league that you rate so highly, the Bundesliga. He was team of the season at wing back.
Yeah, like a zillion years ago.
Luke,
team of the season. Why wouldn't you want him? You love that league. He was brilliant in that league.
Who loves that league?
He's been burnt by that league. He spent £120 million on that league. I think that's probably.
Yeah, I'm not that person. Talking to Toby. But no, Guerrero and Goossens are my first 2 choices. Goossens obviously plays with Rudiger at Germany, Atalanta, great player. Guerrero's worked for Tuchel at Dortmund. Those are my head and shoulders top 2 choices. Digne on a loan, I think, with an option to buy would be a good choice. Everton, obviously, they fell out. They've signed a Ukrainian left back now coming in January as well. So he's probably the most realistic option.
Who do you lot think? Like, you lot must think Everton are mugs that they're just going to let you take one of their best players in recent years on loan with an option to buy, not even a mandatory. Like, you're violating.
It's Chelsea, mate.
You want them to buy it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we'll see, isn't it? I mean, for me, Chelsea need to get this done as soon as possible. 1st of January, we need to be almost signing a left back. We cannot keep going with Alonso. It's the same thing that Corey's been talking about with Masuaku. Same thing I've been talking about with Alonso for the last God knows how many weeks. He hinders our team, and I'm not prepared to go for the rest of the season with him at left wing back. So we need to get someone. People talking about
Emerson back. Emerson and so on.
And Emerson's not good enough, and Ian Matson's at Coventry, and bringing him in mid-season.
Emerson would do a better job than Alonso at left wing back.
But for me, the standards are very low.
I don't think Emerson's bad. I just don't think he's like Chelsea, like #1 standard. But I think as a squad player, I think. Yeah.
But the thing is, we were trying to get rid of Emerson, and Leon have an option to buy for 15 million. So if we bring him back and we can't sell him, then we'll end up having 3 left backs on our book again. So I personally would just go into the window, go and get a left wing back and bring in someone of some quality. I like Angelino as well at RB Leipzig.
Self-sustainable.
So we are self-sustainable. This will be us now spending some money. We didn't spend any in the summer. I told you this. Angelino at RB Leipzig, I like a lot as well. I prefer him maybe to Digne as well.
When he at City, didn't he play for City?
He was.
Well, the same issues you have about Digne defensively. Angelino's not good defensively. Like, he's all going forward. He's
quicker. I think he's quicker than Digne though. So recovery-wise,
he is quicker than Digne. But like in terms of the quality of left foot, I think it's Digne's probably got I'd say he's probably got a better left foot.
He's massively underrated. If you look at some of those stats with chance creation, but when he was under Ancelotti and he did play in like a 3-5-2, he was superb. And I think, you'll bang on about him defensively, but going forward, he's nuts. And he's got brilliant delivery from set pieces. I'd love him. I'd take him tomorrow, mate.
I'd definitely take him.
Digne would be a quality wing back for me. Like, I get it. The lack of pace is a big one because at times he's too slow in getting back. And defensively in 1v1 situations, he can be got at. But I think that for 21 million, that's the price that's being reported. I think that would be a quality signing for Chelsea.
Is he a bit injury prone though? Some people are saying in the chat. I think
he is. Definitely.
That worries me as well. I'm really sick of these injury prone players, man. Really sick of them. That's a big worry for me there. I'm a Spurs fan. West Ham 7th, end of the season, says Josh. Okay, there you go. There's your confirmation.
What a shame. How will I live with myself? Genuinely. I hope so, mate. It's looking 10th.
No bubble machine today, Corey. Nah.
No, we're away. We're away, mate. They don't do it. They don't do it at Vicarage Road. So yeah.
Oh,
Same for the
God.
home games.
But I mean, before we move on, Lee, what do you make of West Ham and Marcus Alonso as well? What do you make of those two situations we've been discussing?
He's out.
Oh, you're muted, Lee. Lee's muted.
He's out.
Sorry, I didn't hear a word of that. Say that again.
Well, what do you make of the whole left wing back situation for Chelsea? Do you rate Marcus Alonso? I know Rance does, and I keep trying to convince
Marcus
Rance he's
Alonso's
absolutely
decent, but
Huh?
Marcus Alonso's decent. Like he scores goals as well, but defensively he ain't great, is he? And the problem is he don't fit into what Tuchel's doing more than Chilwell does. Yeah, Chilwell's more rounded and can defend a bit better, I think. Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
The thing with Chilwell is he's a bit more dynamic going forward, whereas Alonso just coasts up and down. Chilwell bursts up and down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're both very good at crossing the ball, but I feel that your fans just cuss Alonso way too much, man. Like honestly,
Really?
I don't really get it. But I suppose that's the standard, isn't it?
Thank you, Toby.
When it comes to backup players, and that they want their backups to be first teamers. So
No, but he's actually crap. Even as a backup, he's crap.
How's he crap?
As in, he's useless. Like he does.
He's
not
not
really
possible,
consistent.
which is what you want a winger to do or fullback to do. He can score goals. He's technically very good, and he can defend.
Okay.
He can't defend as well as Chilwell, but he can defend.
So shall I give you a rebuttal? So on the crossing point, he has one good cross per 100. He
Like
scores.
Trent, then?
No, not like Trent, because Trent is an exceptional passer of the ball as well. He has probably for all the goal scoring, he'll score you maybe 3 goals a season right now. Defensively, he's awful. Like he's not even a decent defender. He's a terrible defender. His positioning is bad. His 1v1 ability is whack. He's physically weak. He's not dominant in the air. He's so slow. He literally slows down everything Chelsea are trying to do on that left-hand side. He is terrible. Like he's a really, really bad player. And he's well above his level right now. He's poor. He's very poor.
Would you swap him for Nuno Tavares, Matisse?
Nuno Tavares. Who's that?
Yeah, the left back for Arsenal.
God,
Yeah, I'm not saying Tavares. Tavares. It's
Tavares, sorry.
Yeah, I'm pronouncing it properly now. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I'm in a foreign country, you've got to pronounce these names properly.
Do you know what? Yeah, I probably would. Like, I just want some pace. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want him, like, don't get it twisted. There's
but pace don't
a million better options, but I need pace.
You're one of
man.
these FIFA kids, yeah?
I'm not. I just
Nuno
can't stand the
Tavares.
slowness. Like I can't
But
stand
Nuno
in an athletic position. I can't. Like you can't have a left wing
It's
back
all well and
or
good
a right
being
wing
in
back
an
with no
athletic
pace.
position, but if you're caught out of position multiple times in a game, like
Alonso
the reason I brought up that
no
particular
pace.
player is because if you look at that player that I've just mentioned, go and watch him at Old Trafford. He's so far up the pitch, ball watching. Rashford had the freedom of Old Trafford. Yeah, Marcus Alonso wouldn't be there. He'd be on Rashford. Rashford might get past him. He'd be on him. Tavares is 20.
Just kick the ball past him and run.
How does Tavares?
How old is he? 21, I think.
See, this is what I'm saying. He can at least be coached. Alonso is a grown-ass man, and he's slow, and then he has bad positioning as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's for me. I've seen Zuma
I
do
knew
it enough
Tavares
times.
is
Zuma's
Arsenal's
had poor
backup.
positioning.
You leave Zuma out of this, mate. All right.
Sorry.
He's on the injury table. We need him back. He's our savior.
But Zuma's had poor positioning. But if you have the recovery pace to get you out of jail, it's not good. I'm not advocating for it, but it's better than not having any pace and having bad positioning. That's just like that's just a double whammy. You can't fix that.
We all know what Alonso is. He was a player that basically just thrived under Conte because he got the best out of him. And he knew exactly what he was. He's never been brilliant technically. He's been good when you get him in the final third and he makes that run, but defensively he's been poor always. So I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I don't even think it's probably pace is the bigger problem. I just don't think he's good enough in possession. Chelsea have to kick the ball so well.
He's not good enough in possession or out of possession.
Yeah,
like
he scores.
And a lot of rival fans they do rate him and they say, why are Chelsea fans so harsh on him? I think they're maybe thinking back to 2017 under Conte when he put up those statistics, which was 4 years ago, or they look at the statistics for goals from a fullback on Sky Sports and it looks good. But for the guys that watch him week in, week out, if you just watch us in general play trying to pass the ball about, and then you see clunky Alonso who will only use his left foot, he won't control the ball with his right, he takes ages to turn, and he just slows everything down. He's very difficult to link up with for a forward, and he can't defend. He tackles like as if he's a striker and gives away penalties and shit like that. It's like the cons actually outweigh the pros. Like I'm being genuinely honest.
Sorry, Matisse. He'll score like Alonso. Don't get it twisted. Like he's got a sick like shooting technique. Like when he strikes stuff on the volley or from dead ball situations, like free kicks, like he can strike a ball well. And I think that's what confuses people, makes people think, oh no, he's not that good because he must not be that bad because he scored this screamer. Like he's crap. The same criticism that a lot of people have for Bruno Fernandes as to why he isn't this elite player that certain fans will think he is the same thing you can say for Alonso, but with Alonso, it's on a much worse scale. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes, for all the goals and assists, he's a turnover machine. Yeah. He's largely ineffective in any of the big matches as well. Yeah. And he's so wasteful with the ball for all the goals he scores. Now take that, put it into a left back, and make it 100 times worse. That's literally Marcus Alonso. That's Marcus Alonso.
Yeah, and this is for people wondering where this conversation came from. I'm not talking about the game at the weekend. I was barely even sober to even watch that game on the watch along, let alone analyze it. So people asking where.
What were you drinking? Fruit shoots.
Somebody spiked his fruit shoot.
I was having fruit shoots and vodka. So yeah, this is more just a general conversation as why Chelsea need a left wing back and they need to purchase. For me, Ian Maatsen, you can't bring him from the Championship and expect him to jump up a level with no preseason. And Emerson, I would like to be sold as well. So Chelsea need to sign someone. Again, Liverpool scouting. I don't know where they got Tsimikas, but he's good. He's been really good for them. And again, great scouting. I don't know where they got him from.
You and your
on the cheap as well.
It's Tsimikas. Tsimikas. Come on, mate. It's the same with Bruno Fernandes. It's not Bruno Fernandes, bruv. It's Bruno Fernandes. Not even a joke. There's a Portuguese fellow in the chat.
You're actually right. Oh shit, I never knew. Well,
Come on, you gotta get these pronunciations right.
If they pronounce it right on FIFA.
No, they don't. On FIFA they call him Fernandes.
No,
they call him Bruno Fernandes on FIFA. Even FIFA have got it wrong.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, Tsimikas.
Well, to move up to the other side of the pitch, obviously Kane and Lukaku bagged. It seems like is Kane back now, Toby? Are we back in business over there?
I hope so. I don't know if he's
warming up nicely for the NLD, bruv.
Of course, yeah.
Listen, two in his last 2 league games, but even before that, as we said on this stream as well, the performances before that were improving. The only thing that was missing and was worrying me was the goals, because like your performances are actually getting better, but he was getting chances and he wasn't scoring. So I think with Harry Kane, like you can never rule him out, man. Like he was always eventually going to come back. It's just a matter of when, because this guy has been stinking out the joint for most of the season. But him scoring 2 and 2, it's a good confidence booster. And like, hopefully now he can actually go on a run, because the performances are starting to hit the level that we have come accustomed to over the years. So now hopefully the goals will follow as well. And in theory they should, because the goals have never been a side that he struggled on. Like he's an elite finisher. So you expect that they should just come in now and he can salvage what has been a really, really shit season. So yeah, hopefully he can do it.
Yeah. Is your confidence going up a little bit about top 4 after Man United? Yeah. I can't believe Man United dropped points against Newcastle. I was absolutely shocked. And then obviously I heard Said got cooked on Big Six.
They are woeful.
Smoke.
How bad? I didn't watch the game. How anybody want to chip in on how bad they are?
Mate, they're terrible. They're absolutely awful. Like, I'm not joking you. This 4-4-2-2-2-2 formation thing doesn't work because there's no movement in it. And Newcastle loved it. They just sat in 4-5-1 and went, okay, if you want to play for us, play for us. And because Rangnick's so obsessed with vertical passes, they're like, sweet. And they won every single time. Newcastle outpressed Man United. And I'm not no joke. And I thought, all right, COVID permitting, they haven't played, that they would have much more of an identity by now. But I think at one point in the second half, they had Fernandes as the only midfielder and about 5 attacking players. It's the most disjointed thing I've ever seen in my life. But that's what you have when you buy a constant £70 million wingers. It's just no point.
You know what he did in the second half, innit, Corey? Yeah, he put Fernandes like literally in the centre circle and said, just spam over the top balls. Yeah, that's all he kept doing.
Yeah, I agree.
The top balls, their defense were just lapping it up.
No, but he made it easy. He made it so easy for him. And Man United, to be honest, even Varane's misplacing passes, Maguire looks shot to bits.
Oh, they were both crap.
You know, if you want to go down that route of high press, there's going to be players in there that just can't do it. They just physically can't, because it's not just high press; it's a high line. It's just it's so disjointed. No, it's not a Man United show, but they are. Yeah, you know, you're getting out coached by Newcastle here, and fair play to Eddie Howe, because how he's got it out of him. You got to give him credit.
Bugging out. One sec.
Mate, seriously, like Saint Maximin, I don't particularly rate him. Yeah, like technically he's unbelievable. Like that guy can nutmeg a mermaid in a telephone box, brother. It is that deep, like, so fucking technically good, and he's rapid. He's like basically a skinny Adama, isn't he? That's what he is, yeah. Right, but he don't really have a mad output. And it's like you got all the skill, you just need to score goals. His goal was sick. He should have had another one. He missed one from about 3 yards out. He didn't really get enough on it. But he was fucking them up, bruv. Every time he got the ball, they shit their pants. Like, and he was nuts in, like, Joel Linton nutmegged Rashford, man.
It's beautiful that. That was so good, that. That was class. It was so casual as well. It wasn't even like he didn't mean it. Like, proper full-on meant it. I was like, beautiful.
And the funny thing is, just before that, St. Maximin standing there, jumping around, waving his foot over the ball and his arms up in there. It was like disco dancing. Like, he had 2 players there, and he squared it back to Joel Linton. Joel Linton just nonchalantly nutmegged Rashford and run off. I was like, you're taking a piss.
This is mad.
The thing with United, you know they're going to come back.
He missed the
second goal. You know they're going to score. Yeah. They did, and to be fair, Cavani changed the game a little bit for them. He had 2 or 3 chances that he should have buried. He put one wide from about 6 yards out. Then he scored. Then he put another one. I don't know what he did with it. It was 2 yards out. It was on a plate from Telles. He should have scored. But yeah, on another day, United would have nicked that. But they were crap, mate. I can't lie. They were crap. Your boy Sancho, when he came on, was pretty average. Just did one little nice dribble. That was about it.
Oh, really?
Other than that, they were crap, mate. Newcastle should have won.
He created a chance for Cavani, though.
Yeah, but come on, man. Like,
I saw it in the highlights.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that don't mean he had a good game, does it?
I think a lot of them.
No, I'm not saying he had a good game. I agree. I didn't watch the game, but Ronaldo's 36 years old. Ronaldo needs chances. Like, we know what
Ronaldo. Can I just say, right?
We know what he is.
Just say, yeah.
I agree.
Anyone who rates him as the best player in world football ever, you need your heads checking, man. Yeah, that guy is just a whinging little bitch. Yeah, he is. Waving his arms around it. Oh, fucking, how about shut up, man? He went to do a volley.
Don't be like, chill.
Half, yeah? This is how much he is a scumbag, yeah? I can't stand Ronaldo, right? This is how much of a joker he is, yeah?
I didn't know you had this hate for Ronaldo. Where's this coming from? How do you have an agenda against Ronaldo? How's that possible?
Bro, what does he do? Apart from stand on the penalty spot and wait for
he's 36, bro.
Messi's always clear, bro. Messi's clear.
I agragree. Messi is better, but he is 36.
I'm not having this debate. Messi's the GOAT. No one comes
I agree, but he is 36. He is 36.
Let's put some respect on CR7, please.
Yeah.
For what?
He's 36 in the Prem, bro. Most people are in fucking Japan by this stage.
Do you know why I don't like him? Do you know why I don't like him? It's not because of the volume of goals and all of that. It's nothing to do with that. I just think he's a miserable little bitch on the pitch. Like, always crying, always moaning. Like, every time he gets touched, he wants to dive on the floor. Then he cries to the ref. Yeah, and it's like, you don't pass him the ball, he's waving his arms about. Like, who the fuck are you, bruv? Yeah,
he is Cristiano Ronaldo.
But it's not Ronaldo Football Club, right? And the thing is, there was times last night where he should have squared a ball back. Corey, you watched the game, right?
Yeah.
Remember in the first half where he went to volley it and smash it in the top corner? He missed. He totally air kicked it. It bounced off his chest and went for a goal kick. It's like, you're in line with the post. Why are you even trying to shoot from there? You've got a man standing 6 yards out that you just square it to. He can square it to someone and score. Yeah, and it's like he always tries to go for the glory ball or glory shot, yeah, instead of passing. Then when Cavani doesn't pass to him, he starts crying, and it's like,
but Lee, don't you think it is a team game? But at this point,
if you look at Messi, for example, yeah, Messi would be passing them, and you'd be winning the game 3 or 4 because he's a much better footballer.
Well, he's a playmaker, for me, there's no debate on who the better footballer is.
I mean, you watch Ronaldo play. I've seen him play against us. It's not a surprise how he plays. He always plays in the final third. He's not going to come deep and pick it up and link the. So that's where I sympathise with him a little bit, because I think actually, he's at Man United now for whatever reason, right? You changed the coach. He probably doesn't fit the system. You got to play to what you got. And he's a serious goal scorer. Granted, I've seen him air kick a few times against Norwich and Newcastle, but you got to play to his strengths a little bit. But I'm saying, if you're going to go down that route of 2-2-2, he's got to be doing something more. He has to be stretching it a little bit because that's just what he's been asked to do. If he can't 100%. Do it, play Cavani, because Cavani can do it a lot. Cavani should be starting for Man United. He should be starting. He's top.
My thing with this as well is like Ronaldo is at an age now where he isn't undroppable. Like he isn't undroppable. Like it is not going to be a crime against humanity if Cristiano Ronaldo does not play.
Toby, I said this on Big Six and you all crucified me. I said this.
No, it's not about you saying this. You was trying to say it as if Ronaldo is a hindrance on Man United. I don't think he is a hindrance.
He is.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
Of course he is. Everything has to go to Ronaldo. Ronaldo this, Ronaldo that.
I said certain games he's going to have to start, right?
If
Ronaldo hadn't played and Cavani started that game, they would have won it.
No, they wouldn't have won it. Do you know why they wouldn't have won it? Because their midfield was fucking awful and the defending was fucking terrible.
Cavani did more in the 45 minutes that he had than Ronaldo did in 90.
Bro, but Lee.
Cavani should have had a hat trick.
Lee, look at the bigger picture. Yeah, Man United could not keep that ball. From what I saw in the highlights, they couldn't keep that ball. They didn't create a bucket load of chances against Newcastle.
No, but they created 3 for Cavani in 45 minutes, and on another day he buries all 3 of them. How many chances did Ronaldo have? None.
So yeah, but you're saying that.
I'll tell you why he didn't have none. Because he just stands. He does the same fucking thing every time. Make sense.
Ronaldo's got better movement than Cavani. He's got better movement than Cavani in the box. Yes, he has.
Better movement than Cavani. Are you smoking?
Listen. They're both elites at their movement inside the box. But Ronaldo, you cannot tell me that Ronaldo is a static player in the box. That's nonsense.
Oh my days, bro.
The difference is Cavani will create movement for other players. Ronaldo will create movement for himself. So
because Ronaldo is about himself. It ain't about Man United. It ain't about helping the team.
But the problem,
it's about me being the GOAT in the Premier League.
The problem is,
like 36.
The problem is Rangnick's in a position where despite what we've all said, he's still clutch. So it just takes one chance and Ronaldo will probably score it or he'll be in the right position. That's why he doesn't take him off. I agree with you. Cavani should be in there because it's better for the system. Everyone can see it. But that's the problem Man United have got now. They've got a player there that could nick an odd goal here and there, get him the points. Rangnick needs points. He said that after the game yesterday. He was like, yeah, the performance weren't great, but we didn't lose or we drew or whatever. So I think that's why I just persist with him because he will get goals. You can't deny he's a goal scorer.
My thing with this though is like if he wants to play this 4-2-2-2 thing, why don't you just play Cavani and Ronaldo together? If you really wanted to do that,
because Cavani would be fucking chasing around Ronaldo, because Ronaldo would just stand there like a statue and do a diagonal run towards the front post when Telles gets the ball, and Cavani would be running around pressing and be fucked after 60 minutes, because Ronaldo ain't going to do it.
The thing is, listen, like Cavani, I rate Cavani a lot, What I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to make it a Cavani v Ronaldo thing. I'm trying to make it a Man United as a whole thing. Because their team, like when you actually watch them, like they're actually poor. Like again, didn't watch the game today, but I watched them against Norwich. They were bad. Yes, they created a couple chances, but they were bad. Norwich created more chances, and again, struggling to keep the ball. And I'm not just talking about the midfielders. Rashford has been pants for months.
Yeah, we got to start talking about Rashford.
They're asking you about this whole Rashford Martial thing as well.
Bruno Fernandes has been asked for yonks. Like it's not just a Ronaldo thing. This is what I'm trying to say. It's not a Ronaldo thing. It's not a Ronaldo thing. And even if you went as far as to say as Ronaldo's been he's been just about okay or good in the Premier League. Like he's got them clutch points and goals in the Champions League as well. So I don't look at this Man United team and I say, Ronaldo is the hindrance in this team. I think they've got way bigger issues in this team than Ronaldo. Way bigger issues.
With all this being said, though, even though they played poorly by the sounds of it yesterday, I still put them as favourites for the top 4. And I think there shouldn't be... I mean, listen, Tottenham are competing, Arsenal are competing, but I don't think Arsenal will make it. West Ham are competing. But I still... If Man United don't make top 4, it is a massive, massive fuck up on their part.
That'd be hilarious.
It
would be. Baby. Seeing that little crybaby in the Europa League would be hilarious.
Can you imagine Ronaldo?
If any of the teams here make it, is anybody here more confident of making top 4 after seeing Man United yesterday, or is it still Man United's to lose?
Still Man United and Tottenham's to lose.
I still think Man United
and Tottenham are better than us.
I still think it's open. It's very, very open.
I think Tottenham got the edge, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I think Conte
if you're looking
is
at
a big one.
current form, Arsenal got the points on the board and we're playing well, right? But I've seen us have points on the board and play well many, many years. Yeah, I've seen us go on a 10-game unbeaten run this year and be 7th at the end of it. This time round, we're scoring loads more goals, and obviously the table, because of the game differences, we are currently sat 4th. If all of us had played the games at the same time, would we be sat 4th? Who knows? But the one difference is we are scoring now. That coincides with Aubameyang not being in the team, so obviously everyone's going, "Oh, we don't miss Aubameyang." Yeah, we might not miss Aubameyang against Norwich and Southampton. We might miss Aubameyang against Man City or Man United or Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're the games where Aubameyang pops up and scores normally. So maybe not Man City, but Man United and Tottenham, he scores goals against. And it's like people just love to jump on a hype. We got Man City next. Well, that's a loss. Back to reality. People will be out here again saying it's a free hit. They're the best team in the league. Do you know what I mean? So where do we stop with this? Tottenham are playing all right at the minute, playing very well. They've got a manager that knows what he's doing. He's won the Premier League. Yeah, he's got everyone on it. They've gone from being bottom in the league on running to top in the league on running. Yeah, and he's obviously going to get them a lot fitter. And they've got 3 games in hand.
Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? That's the big one.
It's a lot of games
about that. Tottenham somehow managed to keep in that distance, even with Nuno, and that's kind of the thing that went over my head a little bit. And now they got Conte in, and they got these 3 points. I think Conte's the difference. I do think if Man United can't pull it together, and I think Arsenal, as well as they're playing at the minute, Arteta is inexperienced in getting into that top 4. Conte's got the know-how, and I've seen it firsthand in the games, in the management, everything. Yeah. He knows how to grind results out as well.
I've said it time and time again. For me, Tottenham are above Arsenal in terms of their chances for the top 4 of Conte. I really do.
Yeah,
and I think
I agree. Conte's the game changer for me.
Yeah. I can't see a world in January where you don't strengthen your team and couple in, couple out minimum. I can't see it. Whereas Arsenal, I can see them just saying, okay, this is all good and we'll keep it going and keep it moving for the rest of the season. And then they might fall a bit short.
If Arsenal had a bit of ambition, they'd go and get a number 9 in Jan. They'd go and say, right, this got to happen now.
Yeah.
I think
we're trying to pin our hopes on signing either Lacazette or Eddie or both.
Because new deals?
Yeah, I think.
Surely you've got to move on from that now. Come on, that's so stupid.
Listen, you're preaching to the choir, bro. I already know it's stupid. I'd get rid of all of them.
Fuck it. Get rid of Aubameyang, get rid of Nketiah, and get rid of fucking Lacazette as well. All 3 of them.
As much as I like Aubameyang, and I don't think he is finished at this level, I think like the fact that this manager is playing him left wing, that's pathetic. That's just pathetic. 32-year-old. Elite level striker in terms of output. I don't think he's an elite level footballer. He's far from it. He's bang average as a footballer, but he's got an elite output for the last 8 years in Europe. Yeah, and we're playing him left wing. Nah, mate, get rid.
See, I mean, this super chat here. We're not going to do team of the season so far because I want to have. If we're going to do it, I want to do it properly, not just rush it. So we'll maybe do it next week when we might have a bit more time. But we've got a lot of topics to go through. But I'll remember that for next week, mate. Appreciate the super chat. So from to be honest, it's a silly question. There's not really much to take from that Norwich game, is there, for you? Because like it's Norwich, they're shit.
Well, Project Youth is banged, mate. Project Youth has banged. Odegaard's
but it's nice to get the confidence into the young guns.
Yeah, but
Saka's the best player in the league.
You say this, Lee, but isn't it a good thing that these guys are picking up form though? Like it's not just Norwich. Like
yeah, but Toby. Okay, let me ask you this straight question. Yeah, we're picking up form. We're picking up form against Leeds, who are shit. Southampton, who are shit. Norwich, who are shit. They're all relegation fodder, by the way. Yeah. Now we play Man City on New Year's Day and then Tottenham the following game. How many points we getting? Tottenham away, by the way. We never win there.
No, you're going to lose.
And we've lost 9 straight against Man City.
Yeah, but there's no shame in losing to. There's no shame in losing to Man City.
There's absolutely no shame.
No, that's not what I asked.
That's not where the top 4 race will be decided for you.
Oh, 0. You're getting 0.
There you go then. So it's an irrelevant run of form.
Are you that confident of beating Arsenal at White Hart Lane?
Yeah.
No, we've never beat them at White Hart Lane.
We beat them.
Wow.
How many times we beaten you at White Hart Lane? It's very, very rare we beat you, isn't it? At your ground.
I think the last time you beat us, the last time you beat us at our ground was when we had Tim Sherwood as our manager.
Cool, that must have been a dark day.
Someone's asking if Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a good signing for Arsenal.
That's what I'm saying. So if we get 0 points, I don't care about the performance against City or Tottenham. We get 0 points out of them 2 games. This 5-game win streak is another irrelevant run that's led to nothing, which is what I'm talking about.
I agree. As overall, your team, Arsenal are definitely improved. But are the improvements enough to get top 4? I don't think so. But what I would like to say is, even though you are playing sides that you should beat, it's good to see from your perspective that your younger players are actually contributing. Surely you're happy that Martinelli has come into good form. Surely you're happy that ESR is now on, 8 goals in the league. Surely you're happy that Saka, who wasn't really scoring goals, is now scoring goals. He's now adding output to his game. And his
they obviously all watch my streams, mate. That's the only thing I can pull it down to. They all watch the streams.
But also, the West Ham win was big.
I don't rub it in. That was weeks ago now. Come on,
it's part of the run, isn't it?
Saka's actually been killing teams in
the last 4 games. Saka's been really good. And do you know what's funny? Is I sat there the other day and I said, he's got my daughter's got a harder shot than him. I say he needs to polish up on his shooting, put some more power in, and be more decisive in the penalty box. The very next game, bang, bang, 2 goals in the penalty box. That's what I want to see from Saka, because he's got all the technique. Yeah, he can get into them positions, but then he's never decisive enough. His shot power was weak, but that second goal was world class. That was fucking brilliant, that goal. Yeah, the way he jinked past him, dropped his shoulder, and bang. I was like, that's what I want to see from Saka. Same with Smith Rowe. I said it all summer. I want to see Smith Rowe start scoring because he's got everything covered in goals.
And these men are scoring, so you got to give them the credit. I know they're playing.
But that's what happened. You got to give them credit. Same with Odegaard. That Odegaard was unplayable at the weekend at times, yeah? And it's no coincidence that we've been sitting there, me, Kenny, Jez, and people in the chat saying, look, why is Odegaard playing on the halfway line? Yeah? Why is he not 20 yards further up the pitch getting the ball? Now, all of a sudden, he's doing that and he's getting in the box, he's having shots, he's creating goals. So why was he on the halfway line for the first half of the season?
I will say that about Arsenal. It has changed in terms of that kind of front 4 or that front 3. The movement's a lot better. When Smith Rowe's coming on, he's making moves in behind, his finishing's top drawer. Martinelli's made a massive difference. And I don't know what it is, because I don't watch enough of Arsenal to talk about, pressing off the ball. But I think all of those players press. Positionally, they're quite sound. And now they've got the license to get in certain positions and play. And now Arsenal, unfortunately, are in that position where they can bring on a Smith Rowe, which is a bit of a nightmare for a team later in the game. You've seen him score the late goals in the last 10 because he's got the freedom. So, unfortunately, Arsenal are clicking going forward, which is where I think a lot of the criticism for me was outside in. People talk about them defensively. They've got clean sheets here and there. But I couldn't see where they were creating chances. Now, because of how good the movement is of that front 4 at times, they create their own chances. So it's not Arsenal aren't perfect, don't get me wrong, but they are getting better. But I mean, to be honest, all you can do is beat who's in front of you. And I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you're thinking they're not just beating them 2-1, they're beating them 4-1.
And that's the only difference I've seen, yeah. And that's why, the thing is, these runs always happen, yeah. You're always going to go on a run, but we were sneaking 1-0s against Norwich at home. We were sneaking over the line. We were nicking a draw against Palace in stoppage time. Now we've gone 5 straight wins, albeit against teams we should be beating.
And you're battering them.
We could be beating them all. Now we're battering them. Yeah. But is that now enough to play Man City at the Emirates on New Year's Day and go, right, we'll take a draw. We'll get something out of this game. No, it ain't, because it ain't.
It's not. But then the bottom line,
White Hart Lane, after not winning there for 7 years, or 7.5 years by then, and go, we're going to get a draw or a win today. No, it ain't. So it's all well and good going and beating.
You can say the same thing about Spurs, though.
We did that under Wenger for a decade and then got piped by every big team we played. It's the same shit. So why should I be excited? Why should I be? I want to say this as well, right? I want to say this. You see our fan base, yeah? All of you lot would have seen Arsenal fans at some point over the years saying, is yours gold? Is yours gold? Yeah, but look at Liverpool. Not easy, is it, going unbeaten? So these fans, right, that sit there and say, I'm negative and I'm toxic, they hold the club to the standard that is invincible. Yeah? So why can't I want more of that?
For me, I've always said, though, I know you're not excited about a top 4 race, nor should you, because nor should you be excited for top 4, because it's not a trophy. It literally is just a pass into the Champions League. But if you, and I've been majorly critical of Arteta, and I don't think you're going to do this anyway, but if you do somehow make top 4 with this squad, with these issues with the captain, with these senior players that I think a lot of them need binning, that would be a very, very impressive achievement. I know it's not what Arsenal should be in terms of standards.
But this is the difference. My standards ain't in the gut. A top 4 is fucking irrelevant. Sorry,
but it's the first step to what should be then going back here. Because you're not just going to go and win the league. Do you know what I mean?
Matisse, it's the first step to getting absolutely pants down in the Champions League. And then that will be the excuse from our stupid fans that then sit there and wonder why we didn't qualify for it again the following season. Oh, but we can't compete because the squad's a young squad. Shut up. We chose to do a young squad instead of choosing to do a title race. And with the £250 million pounds this manager has spent, we should be in a title race. Yeah, we have spent less than Liverpool. We've spent less than Chelsea. So how are we
more than you mean more than?
Oh, sorry, we've spent more than. Since Wenger's left, we've done nearly £500 million in 4 years. Why can't I win a title race? Why can't I? We've spent more than anyone in Europe since Wenger's gone. Why can't I win a title race?
Because you have there's a multitude of reasons. You have incompetent people behind the scenes. The players you've brought in haven't been good. The squad that Wenger left behind wasn't exactly good. It was a mismatch of profiles, mismatch of talent, and just a poorly put together side. So there's been a lot of mess. And you know how critical me and Matisse are of Arsenal. I'm still going to be critical because these teams, and I'll say the same thing with Spurs, these teams that you've beaten, you should be beaten, especially with the circumstances that they're facing.
I thought you were going to say especially West Ham.
Not surprised I ain't got a boot in. Come on.
With the exception of West Ham, and even them at a push, you say Arsenal should be beating West Ham at home anyway. But the performances, I'm not even going to lie, I've been a little bit impressed. I've been impressed with what I'm seeing in recent weeks. Can it be sustained over the season? I doubt it. I don't think it can. Is Arteta going to get Arsenal to the top four? I don't think he is. I don't think he's good enough to do it. But as it stands now, it's a positive. It actually is a positive because some of the issues that we've criticized Arsenal for, they don't score enough goals. They don't create enough chances. They're not putting teams they should be putting teams away. They're not putting teams away like they should be putting teams away. All these things, they're doing it now. The next step is, okay, you're now beating the meaty teams at home. You're battering the shitty teams away. Can you start beating the good teams regularly? And that's where the question is still, that's where the question is still unanswered for us.
Exactly. There's a comment here from a guy called East Main who says you have to take steps regardless. You can't go from 8th to 1st. Well, Chelsea did. Yeah, and he says with no established team. How many players in Chelsea? How many players in Chelsea's team that won the Champions League? Yeah, how many of them were established Premier League players for the last 5-6 years? Because Werner weren't, Havertz weren't. Yeah, you've got fucking Mason Mount weren't, Reece James weren't, Mendy weren't. So you can keep going. He said you can't take steps. You have to take steps regardless. You can't go from 8th to 1st.
Yeah, but Chelsea are the only example of not taking steps because we're just tapped. Like our club is just.
But your Champions League final squad. How many of them players have played Premier League football? Yeah, for the last 5 seasons. So therefore established. Because Mason Mount hadn't, Werner hadn't, Havertz hadn't. Yeah, Kovacic hadn't. Do you know what I'm saying? You got Reece James who hadn't. Your goalkeeper hadn't. You could go through your whole squad. You still had youngsters in that squad that had come through your academy
I think it's just something in the atmosphere with Chelsea.
No, it's because you have
it's not just
Are you sure?
We don't take our time to decline. We just go 10.
You've got a proper manager. That's why. Lampard said you can't win nothing with that squad. All of a sudden, you won the Champions League and lost an FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Because you've got a proper manager.
We like drama.
If we had a proper manager this season, if we had Conte, I'd be adamant we're getting top 4. Adamant.
Yeah, you would definitely get it. I think. Yeah. I'd be backing you to probably do it like I am Tottenham.
Become available right now and went on Sky Sports and said, "I want the Arsenal job." How many of these people sucking Arteta off would sack Arteta for Klopp?
Of course you would.
Probably most of them. So let's not pretend
him for Conte as well. Here. Yeah,
Arteta isn't a genius. Arteta's not a good manager. And we're just saying that for the run that Arsenal have had recently, I think we need to give some credit where it's due. It doesn't change the general opinion.
For what though, Toby?
Because Arsenal are currently, by hook or crook, Arsenal are currently
third loser. Wow.
No, you say third loser. Wow, but that's
19 teams are going to be disappointed.
Yeah, what's the aim of elite sport? It's not to finish 4th, is it? It's not to finish 4th. How many times do I have to say this every week? What's the aim of elite sport? It's not to finish 4th.
But Lee, you have to be realistic. You're not going to win
for a tournament. You don't have to win that.
Million was not enough to take Arsenal from 8th to 1st. It wasn't. You don't have a good enough one. The players you sign, as good as they've done, they're not world-class players, one.
No, but that's my point, Toby. If we'd signed Antonio Conte in the summer of last season before Arteta came in, if we'd got Antonio Conte and said there's £250 million, which is what we've done to Arteta, by the way, since he's been here in the 2 years, we would be in a title race this season. And that is why I get the because we have chose as a football club to go down a youth project instead of a title race project. And that youth project, let's say Martinelli carries on for the rest of the season and bangs goals after goals. Smith Rowe does the same. Saka does the same. All of a sudden, Chelsea come in and go, there's 70 mil for Smith Rowe. Yeah. City go, there's 70 for Saka. And Real Madrid go, there's 65, 70 for Martinelli. Youth project's finished. Well, it is, isn't it? Because then what do? It's finished. And this is my point. The only youth project that has actually banged in fucking my whole lifetime in this country was 30 years ago with Man United. So what makes anyone think that a youth project is going to end up in a title? It ain't. Because every single club around you is going to get better and buy better players. Yeah, we're not going to spend the big money on big names. We're going to do a youth project and let all the big clubs come and nab the players when they don't win nothing.
I think for me, it all comes down to good scouting. If you get your scouting on the level, for me, Arsenal needs to be working on the behind the scenes. If you get your scouting on the level of a Leicester or a Liverpool, then you can turn this into something like that comes to some sort of good outcome with some sort of trophy. And maybe
why are we still talking about Arsenal, by the way? They beat Norwich. The worst team in the league. Why are we still talking about Arsenal?
Let me
because we're in the position you want to.
I have limited 4G and you're using it. Arsenal are the worst side in the league.
We'll close up on Chelsea quickly. Sorry, I've missed some of the super chats, guys. I just didn't want to.
You're not there.
I didn't want to ruin the flow of the convo. Everywhere Ronaldo goes, he starves his teammates of goals. The evidence is there with Madrid, Juve, now Man United. I don't know if I really agree with all of that, but is Toby an adult movie star? Why is he topless? Guys, get over it.
Leave the poor guy alone.
Leave the man.
He supports Tottenham his whole life, and he just goes away. Come on.
They want you back in that Inter Milan top. That's what it is. Arteta fangirls cuss Lee for saying this squad gets top four or competing with a better manager. Now look, they're fourth and tossing one out. LMAO.
Exactly.
That's from Josh.
But apparently, see what happens is they all start cussing, they all start hating, and then they eventually realise I was right. Yeah, because I've been right for a decade about this football club, mate.
But to close up, what did you? I mean, listen, as I already said, and Marvo keeps asking me, there's no Chelsea review because I didn't feel like I was in the correct state to do one in terms of analysing it, and I didn't really get to see it as good as my eyes would have wanted to. Bro, them fruit shoots slap differently, bro. After the Capri Suns, it's a back-to-back.
For God's sake.
But Lukaku, like, again, it's like Kane, isn't it? It's hopefully the beginning of a run. Lukaku comes on for 45 minutes or comes on for the second half. He does well, gets a goal, wins a penalty. We play to his strengths. He's running at people. He's causing problems. I think for me, Chelsea, and I think Dammy was on Big Six and they were going mad at him saying that Chelsea didn't play well. I didn't get to listen to it, but Chelsea didn't play great. Like first half, I thought it was very even. I thought Aston Villa maybe even shaded it a little bit. They definitely could have been further ahead. They took the lead, of course. I was just kind of proud of the way that we came back. I think a lot of times in the last few weeks, Chelsea would have dropped their arse and they would have just probably lost the game. Or failed to get the win. But for Chelsea to come from behind from a goal down against a very good Villa team, it was actually quite surprising, pleasantly surprising. So, I mean, who watched the game here? If anyone get to see the game?
I mean,
I saw
look at you guys.
I was still working, man. I was uploading.
I was in the air, mate.
Yes, you was. Yeah, true.
I was probably crying about getting battered by Southampton. To be fair, I need a bit of a break. I can't just go back to back football. Come on. I saw Lukaku's goal though. Like, how many times have we sat here and said in transition he's much better than a hold-up player? Like, it goes to show, doesn't it? Like, and how effective he was. I mean, he pushed about 2 players off the ball and won a pen. It's time with Lukaku. You can't get away from it. We talk about systems and fluidity and all these type of things. The reality is he's a world-class striker in his prime. And when he's on it, he's absolutely on it. And Chelsea or Tuchel needs to adapt it slightly just to get the best out of him.
I disagree with world-class. I agree with everything you said, apart from the world-class bit.
You don't think he's world-class?
You don't think he's world-class?
Lukaku, nah, he isn't.
Who's above?
Would you have said that last season at Inter Milan?
I would have said that last season. I've been saying that throughout. I literally said this in the summer before he even signed the dotted.
What do you define as world-class? Top 5 in your position?
No,
walk
I
into any
think
team in the world.
World class, you need to be hitting 2 and 3 for the majority of your career, scoring in big matches, and just being ultra like there's a standard. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there's a standard that the world class strikers over the past couple of years have hit. I don't think Lukaku's hit that standard. I'm talking Benzema, I'm talking Harry Kane, I'm talking Lewandowski, I'm talking Luis Suarez, I'm talking Aguero. When I think about Lukaku, he is a quality player, but I do not put him on these guys' levels. If I compare his best seasons to their best seasons, they're better.
Yeah. Lee's got to go, guys. He's got to start a stream. We'll probably only go for 5 more minutes here just to wrap up on the Chelsea game. But Lee, let them know, bro, where to find you.
Lee Gunner, man. When you're all done here, I'm on with Eunice, Goonie, and Northside. So come and check it out. That should be fun. We're going to talk about Romelu Lukaku, actually. Yeah, Rom back.
Oh, it's a madness. So, guys, link is in the description as always as well.
Nice one, lads.
And check out Lee after the show for sure, 100%. We're going to wrap up here in about 5 minutes. So,
later, man.
In a bit, bro.
See you later, mate. Take care.
I think for me, our win ratio with Hudson-Odoi playing is really, really good. And again, I know he wasn't great against Villa. He definitely has a long way to go to be a lot better. But again, for me, it's just about footballers and just bringing some sort of fluidity back to the team. But the midfield is the area I've been talking about for so long. And yeah, people have got the violins out. You're crying about injuries, but you can see the difference on the pitch when Kante's playing, when Kova's playing. They're just a level above what we've been seeing in recent weeks. And I thought that helped as well. But for me personally, it's just about getting the top players back into the team and then getting to a January similar to West Ham, just maybe at a higher level. We just need to get to January with some of these players.
But for real though, it's interesting you say that because obviously I support West Ham for God knows how long. I've always thought injuries it's just a bit of a win. But when you're trying to get to sustain that level and players go out and you see the drop off, that's when you go, yeah, we need them back because the standards are there and you need players back to maintain it. And your midfield's a massive part of that. Let's be honest, having Kante and Kovacic out and options. I think sometimes with Chelsea, because it's that 3-4-3, you need control in the midfield. And when you don't have it, you just become a bit lax. And you're talking about, and we remember the result against Leicester when Kante's making that beautiful run and Jorginho's picking it up and dropping deep. That's what Chelsea really rely on, I think. And I know we spoke about fluidity, the front three, but Chelsea, in theory, should get enough goals at some point for a set piece or whatever to win games. But the midfield's different. You lose the midfield, you can't really create. So I think you'll be all right. I know this is a dip for you. I appreciate that. I know you got a result against Villa, but I've said you can't write Chelsea off just yet. I still think a couple of signings in January, maybe one key signing at left wing back, Chilwell to come back. I think that's the case for a lot of teams, mate. Like this season at the minute, it's up and down with COVID and people going out.
January. I just listen. I don't think, for me personally, I don't think it's counting Chelsea out to say that they're not going to win this league. I've hung.
No, I'm talking about them dropping out. People are saying they're going to drop out the top four.
Okay, yeah. Dropping out. Yeah, I don't think, as far as Chelsea like still being in the conversation. Yeah, I don't think that's going away soon, man. I think you lot will pick up form. I still think there's a clear difference between the quality that Chelsea have versus the quality that the rest of the sides competing for top four has. So it's just a case of how much of a distance will you let yourselves have between your team and Man City. Like, I still think you can compete with Liverpool squad-wise. I think you can. I think you can.
I think Man City right now are showing they're going through the gears, aren't they?
Liverpool's first 11.
Purring, mate. Jeez.
Yeah. Liverpool's first 11 and their manager, without a shadow of a doubt, are better than Chelsea. Like, if Liverpool could play their first and strongest team every game for 38 games, then they'll clear Chelsea for sure. But they're not going to be able to. And I think that's where you have an advantage. So, yeah, the race ain't over yet, but let's be real. Chelsea aren't winning this league. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Chelsea are not winning this league. I
gotta have hope in it. I gotta have hope.
It's not. Even I said from day one, they're not winning this league because you're not better than Man City. You're not better than Man City. You don't have a better squad. You don't have a better manager. You don't play better football. You don't score more goals. How are you going to beat them?
The only thing I can hope on Man City is obviously maybe hopefully some sort of Champions League distraction. Obviously they've been chasing that and craving that for ages. And the thing is with Pep, as great as he is, we know he can have his moments, brain farts, where he just overcomplicates shit. And I think if he does start getting to the latter stages of the Champions League and the title race is still on and he hasn't cleared the whole league and he is still competing, then when he starts to rotate, he might overcomplicate it, and then maybe there'll be he'll fumble the bag. But I definitely do think that, yeah, it's Man City's obviously to lose. It's their title at the end of the day. They won it last year. But as a Chelsea fan, I have to still have some hope. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what, I have to hope that we're going to do something in January substantial enough to put us back in a position that we need to be in terms of competing properly.
I'll tell you what the big difference between you and Liverpool, Man City is that Liverpool maybe less so because of the injuries, but Man City, when they get to December every single year, they pick up this winning form and they just go again and again and again and again. There's like only a few teams that can do that. And they've shown against Leeds and the like, they are at that level. And even against Leeds, when they were battering them, they didn't drop the intensity. That's what worries me. That's why they're clear. And they do fair play, because everyone said here about the number 9 and how it affect them. Doesn't look like it bothers them at all. All those players stepped up. De Bruyne looks like he's getting back into form as well. They're a nightmare. I think I had Liverpool to win the league, but I think City, just because of how they can deal with fixtures, squad depth. You are right about the Champions League, but that's maybe where a Liverpool take over because of the experience, because they've been there before.
Yeah,
I always had Man City to win the league. I think my ratings were a bit skewed with Liverpool because I didn't know how their squad would react to the season, but Liverpool have definitely shut up any doubt that I had about them being serious contenders. Like, they are firmly serious contenders. I never expected Chelsea to finish in the top 2, and if Liverpool can keep the bulk of their team fit, they're not going to finish in the top 2. But it's not to say that they can't compete, because they should compete. So you look at Chelsea's team, you look at who they signed in the summer in Lukaku. The main issue for Chelsea is the one thing that, unfortunately, Man City and Liverpool are way better at Chelsea at, which is their shooters actually shooting on target. Man City they battered. I remember in the first half, I was checking the stats. They were 4-0 up at half time, or 3-0 up at half time, whatever. They had 4 big chances created and only 1 missed. And even if they're missing, even if they miss more chances, their supply line, it's never dry. Like, these teams are always capable of creating chances. Liverpool will always create a chance, no matter who's playing for them. Man City create a chance, no matter who's playing for them. Chelsea have an issue where their front line don't score enough goals, and then the supply line isn't even consistent. So it's not like you have consistent chance creators who are creating bucket loads of chances for Chelsea week in, week out.
Yeah, no, that is true. Chance creation, and I was hoping personally that some of these guys that we've signed over the last 2 years would step up their game this year and prove some people wrong in terms of, obviously Werner is just a whole other story, Ziyech as well, but they haven't done that yet. They haven't been consistent, and if they don't do that this year, and we're still falling on our sword in terms of chance creation, and we're not taking it up to that next level, then we're going to have to, cut our losses and say, listen, they got it horribly wrong in the recruitment. Because Lukaku was meant to be that final piece. he was meant to be that guy that put him up top, you create some chances and you keep it moving. We're going to wrap it up, people. I don't want Toby's 4G to be used any longer.
No chat. No chat on Spurs as well, man. I feel sick.
We gave Spurs a little bit there. We gave Spurs a little bit there with Harry Kane, but we won't go for too long.
Everybody, nothing at all.
Everybody, we spoke about Arsenal for a lot longer than I planned.
Bro, you may as well have not had me on the stream because we spoke about.
No, we needed you here. We needed you here to banter Corey. We needed you here to banter Corey. Who did Tottenham even play?
We played Crystal Palace. We got our revenge. We battered them 3-0. I'm not getting Listen, I'm not even getting gassed by like the momentum and stuff like that. But I am getting gassed about the manager because
I know you keep fucking loving him on Instagram story.
Bro, he's amazing. He's amazing. When you look at the teams we've beaten, we should be beating them. The manner in which we're beating them is what is really impressed me. Like battering Crystal Palace, not conceding a goal. The performance against Liverpool as well. I didn't expect anything when we got a point. But if you look at the other games we played, Norwich at home, we should be beating them. Brentford at home, we should be beating them. Leeds at home, we should be beating them. So we've won these games. So
is it similar to Lee, kind of, but with a better manager?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm not getting too carried away. I still think we have a couple of players that will let us down. But honestly, like the fact that this guy is being able to get a tune out of so many different players in our team. Like Lucas Moura is all of a sudden scoring more goals now. Harry Kane, we spoke about him back in form. Son, back in form. Getting a tune out of Dyer, getting a tune out of Sanchez, getting a tune out of Davies. Not even getting a tune, just playing a system that limits these guys' deficiencies as well. Like he's just an unreal manager. The tougher tests are due to come because we're going to play a lot of away matches, and we're going to obviously have Chelsea 3 times in the space of a month, Arsenal as well, etc. But like, I feel so happy, and I feel like I have renewed optimism going into some of these matches with a manager like Conte in our dugout. Sorry, someone's at the door. 1 sec.
They've got Southampton as well in an hour. The game, the time difference between the fixtures is borderline illegal. Like, I don't even know how that's even physically possible for them to play that game so close after playing on the weekend there. So that is a whole discussion for another day. I think that's inhumane. But we've obviously got Brighton tomorrow. When do you guys play next, Corey?
Playing about 45 minutes, mate.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, it's nuts. But
is it just going to be like 11 changes, do you think?
No, it's not. I mean, we're playing pretty much the same team. We've made 4 changes, so it's got a couple and we've got 4 nails out with COVID. So
how are they going to play a game? they just play.
But to be honest, it's always been like this, and I think that's kind of what I'm on the other side of the argument. I've heard Tuchel talk about 5 subs, and maybe that suits you. It definitely doesn't suit us. We don't have 5 subs to really make. I
always thought it was 26 to 29. I never thought it was 26.
No, I agree. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's always been like that. 26 to 29 is much more sensible. And then maybe just get it after New Year's Day. But we know how it works. It's just to do with the TV companies and what sells. So players can't do anything about it. We're probably in a worse position than a lot of clubs, given how stretched we are. But at the end of the day, is what it is, mate. I can't do much about it. Got Nobes playing in 45 minutes, so that should be fun.
I do. No, guys, maybe it's not new to you. I know it's a grueling fixture list, but I do always thought there was 2 days in between the games. I always thought it was 26 and 29, or if you play 27, then you play 30. I didn't think it was 1 day. Like I can't remember it being like that. But maybe, I mean, Klopp was cussing about it, and I know people like to take the piss out of Klopp and that he whines, but he's actually spot on. Do you know what I mean? He's the one that's got to manage these players. He's the one that's got to see their conditioning and see how ready they are and see how healthy they are and whether they can play these games. And for me, I've been talking about player welfare for ages. I do think it's a bit messed up to be playing a game literally not even 48 hours later. So it's nuts. But listen, we're gonna wrap up. I see Toby then I don't know where Toby's gone, but we're gonna wrap up anyway on this one. Let these boys prepare for their fixtures, and make sure you subscribe to their channels. The link is in the description down below for everyone. Smash the likes here, and I'll probably do a preview for the Brighton game later on today, and then obviously I'm going to the game tomorrow, so I'll do a vlog and a review there, so no watch along tomorrow. Smash the likes, people. Brighton preview coming, bro, coming in a bit, people. Peace.